This podcast is brought to you by Lulu's Holistics for the finest in organic skincare products. Hit up Lulu's.
Of course, you can use our code TheFix to get 10% discount off your next purchase. That's TheFix. They're pointing to it. Yes, use it to get 10% off your next purchase. Of course, you can follow Lothian's Boutique on Instagram. That's Lothian's Boutique. You can check their website out at Lothian's Boutique. And you can use my code Ariane10, that's ARIANNE 10, to get 10% off your next purchase. You know, wigs, weaves, bundles, I'm saying eyelash and brush and everything. So you can check them out in Portmore. That's 23 West Tradeway in Portmore if you're in Jamaica.
Also, this podcast is brought to you by Fix Merch.
Wow.
Fix Merch, of course. Everything that we do is brought to you by Fix Merch. I don't know, so you can cop exclusive Fix Merch at teespring.com/stores/thefixja. You can get the classic. I'm having a problem with the slashes. Slash. Got the classic black tee with the white logo. Mm-hmm. The blue tee with the faded logo. The infamous It's a Trap shirt as well.
Yes.
Along with other exclusive Fix merchandise as teespring.com/stores/the Fix JA merch. Last and certainly not least, big ups to Frankie Music Studios. You see over there now, new environment, new place.
Mm-hmm.
So all thanks to Frankie Music. So big up.
Thanks, Frankie.
For this loan. Don't know when that last.
Loan of a space.
Loan of a space, yeah. Give that.
Everett Studio.
We never really get to talk about this last week because I know we spoke to Tommy Chin. We never really get to talk in depth about it. We just did touch upon it last week. Of course, we never want next week go. We never get to talk about the things that are going on stateside right now and across the world.
They're still happening.
Are still happening right now as
protests.
we speak. Yes, protests, riots, and all these things happening. And of course we see it, and of course it affects us. But to some people, it doesn't seem like it should affect us as much as these people are displaying. Because you have some people out there saying, why are Jamaicans taking this up on them head? We have things we worry about a yard, on a too enough. These are sentiments that I see being expressed. Some of us would want to ask, I put out this question. In terms of Jamaicans protesting, of course, the murder of George Floyd and things happening overseas, are they just doing it because of what them see online and because them quote unquote enough? Or are they genuinely interested in standing up against injustice? I saw the likes of Spice get criticized for being in a protest overseas. Me see Coffee get criticized for your posts and all these things. So I just want to ask on the thoughts. I'm not touching the Spice thing, by the way. I'll let Harry talk about that.
No, well, to me,
your voice.
To me, I found it shocking that Spice was being criticized by the public. I don't know if it. I didn't go through all the comments, but it seems like a large portion of commentators were just like against her being a part of the protest abroad. But I think what people fail to understand, or those people fail to understand, is that Spice, Coffee, or dancehall reggae artists, they are global citizens in a sense. You know, they travel more than us. They're if they're on the road like 3 months, that's probably a little time. Most of these people are on the road 6, 8, 10 months out of the year traveling. You know, and they probably encounter racism and every other isms more than the average person down here, you know. So of course you can understand why somebody like Spice, who seem to be taking and setting roots in Atlanta, based again off what I see on
Love and Hip Hop.
So, you know, it's like, yeah, of course it's clear that she's taking root, and she being a citizen there, she's going to be affected by the racism
some way, somehow, especially with the kids.
Exactly.
If she hasn't yet, she's
going to, you know, and as you rightly said, Jamie, the kids that it seems as if she's bringing her kids with her. So, you know, that she's fighting and she's trying to make those wrongs, the wrongs before her that we've all seen, because this George Floyd case isn't a new case, isn't something new or novel like the coronavirus. This is something that's been happening. Systemic racism, institutionalized cover-ups, corruption that is deep-rooted in American, and of course, corruption not novel to America, or isn't indigenous to America. It's all over. So of course I can see why she's going to be a part of it. The only issue that I had with Spice, the first thing that when I saw the video, is the first thing that stood out to me was the shirt that she was wearing. Black hip.
Here we go.
The black hypocrisy shirt.
Have to find something wrong.
No, but the thing is, it's not like you're trying to find something wrong. It's just the first thing that stood out.
Like your attention. Because for me, that wasn't the case. I was like, but more know like why? Why was it
the black hypocrisy?
Yeah, the shirt.
To me, it's because to a layman looking on, they're gonna see black hypocrisy. Like, it just don't make no sense. Like, hypocrisy in and of itself is a negative word. Then you have black hypocrisy. So when you put it together,
black hypocrisy.
Exactly. So to me, it just never makes no sense.
Might see and say, yeah, they are fucking hypocrites. Fucking blacks.
All that
right on.
They're talking about protesting, rioting about killing one nigger, and now they're destroying everything. They're hypocrites.
So it could
they kill niggers every day. These
niggers kill their niggers every day. That's what happening in nigger do.
Stop.
So too authentic though.
So that was the only thing, that was the first thing that stood out to me, was the shirt, black hypocrisy. And of course, when you put it in context, knowing what the song is about, colorism and whatever, maybe, and I'm thinking, of course, maybe she wasn't thinking so deep.
Yeah, because of that, I said maybe she said, oh yeah, remember me have the song, and this would have been perfect.
But the song in of itself is trashing light-skinned black people for putting down darker-skinned black people, and like black people. And she's in the song is about colorism and how colorism has affected her, and I guess people who are of a darker hue. But then it's just like wrong place, wrong time, wrong place,
time and place.
So it's just like we're focusing on the broader issue of racism, of systemic racism, of white oppressive institutions, deep-rooted oppressive systems, killing people, killing black people without any accountability, without any sort of like care, like just wanton disregard, and like, oh well, another nigga down. So that's the focus that they're protesting and trying to reform and trying to change. So it's just like one issue at a time to me.
My thing is that I need to shout out when you hear that girl in Bilbao.
Yo.
Wow.
My thing is that I need to shout out the people that were out at the US Embassy that actually protested. Because all I go on, are we say protest and are we say placard? You see me?
Want justice.
Are we say we want justice?
Always.
Old fridge.
For the people them criticizing this, I don't really get it, because people need to remember that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, right? And even in the case of a Spice or a Coffee, they're not only Jamaican citizens, but they're global citizens.
I said that.
And I'm
that.
Co-opting what you said.
Okay. You're saying right? You're not saying anything new.
They're basically global citizens. I'm not to say them more so than we, but as Ari touched on, they travel and they're trying to garner an international audience. Not to say that their actions that they've done is a part of that. I'm just saying, these things probably even touch them more because they have to be in these places more. And they may face these things more than we have to face it. No, we don't necessarily face racism here because our country is predominantly black. But we go through police brutality. We do go through classism, which is essentially a cousin of racism. And these are all things that could be linked to the issues that we see going on overseas. And yes,
it's based on our history.
It's based on our history. And yes,
Christopher Columbus sailed ocean
for the
blue.
people them who are protesting and are, you know, speaking out against the happenings overseas, the people them who say, oh, them need to show more energy to things or here locally. I agree. The same can be true, that yes, we can protest and lend our voices to our brothers and sisters overseas while also speaking out against the local injustices that we see going on here on a day-to-day basis. In regards to the spice thing, now I lied, I'm going to talk about it. Because I saw the criticism and I was like, I don't see why people are criticizing her, because why wouldn't Spice lend their voice and their face
on her
to
platform,
to these causes?
Baffle me, like, I can't understand.
People weird.
Like, when I saw those criticisms, I'm like, why?
Yeah, why you have a problem?
She basically lived there now. Or basically look like she frequents there. She frequents it. Sorry.
And she represent the Jamaican people.
Exactly.
And I mean, who though? Which Jamaican?
That's the point I was just about to make. Which Jamaican out there don't know somebody who live overseas?
Some family member,
some
friend.
Una travel often, una dep on work program, una dep on farm program.
Exactly.
Like,
so them thing I hit close to home. I have two friends. There are two friends that I know. That almost did get lost in the system in regards to police brutality. Like that nearly reached them. Police that then could have go left. Who to tell?
Right.
It's just to show us, yo, them the thing that can happen close to home. There's a case that probably going to be brought out. It seems like that's been going on in the subsequent weeks for the protests. Like cases from months ago. Like even from Ahmad Abrika, that was like
in February.
There's a case that I know of a youth who are living in New Jersey that got shot about 6 times. There's no video, but I feel like it's going to be brought up soon. You see me, all them things. So them things that happen to Jamaicans overseas. Why shouldn't we feel a way about these things happening to our brothers and sisters? Now, in regards to the shirt, I also saw the shirt. I took notice of the shirt. And I agree with you. It's almost like she was co-opting the movement. I know that probably wasn't her intention, but it's almost like she did all lives matter the thing. Because black hypocrisy is about colorism. That's not what we're there to talk about. That's like you there want rally a protest against
breast cancer.
Against breast cancer, and then somebody say, oh, what about tumors, head tumors? What about that?
Great.
No, we're there to talk about breast cancer. This is the breast cancer rally. You know what I mean?
No, but all cancers matter.
Let's just stick to this.
Yeah, we just at this with there like, well,
stick to this.
Of course, you know all cancers matter.
Exactly.
But, you know,
like even when people say all lives matter, we just not understand them.
We know.
Like we know that, but still.
But you clearly see black people.
Black life, no matter. What's wrong with wanting to matter?
Exactly.
We just want matter. You know? We see Kevin Hart always with cheer on the video of the comedian Michael Che. The man broke it down so simple. What people have? What's so wrong with wanting to matter as a people? We just want matter. You know? Black lives matter. No. No,
they make it seem like we want to take over, like black people are trying to take over.
That's Terry Crews, because I was just about to point to Terry Crews his tweet about black supremacy, and I was just like,
what name so, bro? In what lifetime will we see that when we can have systematic oppression systems in place over white people? That just need therapy. From when the white brother touch him, the white exec touch him. I'm obviously need counseling because he might not operate right.
Like I just never understood. I never understood the tweet, but you know, it's the same thing like that. That you're right. Like people look on it, and when you don't have a unified voice, and you have like fringe voices who think they're helping the matter, but they're not helping the matter. So I'm not saying that that's what Spice was doing. But just this is specifically about Terry Crews. But I was saying that it's so crazy to me that people were protesting, because I'm like, Jamaican artists protest doing a whether through song. Remember, like Vegas did want to keep like a protest or a visual or some walk, because there was like with the crime that was rampant like years ago, and artists were at the forefront of that. So I mean, I found it surprising. You know, these like artists, they truly want, or they're involved in things or in Jamaican crises, you know. But I mean, to keep it locally, I mean, they're Jamaica have its issues,
especially when in regards to police.
Exactly, you know. Killings. And I mean, I remember when I was younger, watch news every day. Almost every day there's a protest. We want justice, just ice, like you know. Like,
we're famous for that.
Exactly.
Well, creative with them.
Yeah, you know, and
dog are weird.
And you know, we protest, and we've always been a set of people who just like, yo, you know, police are doing this, and the media show it. We're like, oh, that sucks, because you know, I've never really been in a protest like that. But when you watch, you're like, oh shit, that sucks. Yeah. But I think what Americans are fighting for is what thankfully we kind of have, is income. You know, I don't know, I don't have the statistics, and I never really got the opportunity to kind of look how much police brutality has decreased or increased. So if you can do that, but I just think like the bare minimum Americans are asking for is just an oversight and a agency to police the police,
in the proper investigation,
right, and at least hold these people accountable. I mean, we have that, and I mean, you know,
and we're not so great.
Yes, because just this week there was a killing of a 30-year-old in Hagley Park. His name escapes me. I think it's Ferguson. And Noel Chambers, he was in prison. He just died on 40 years. Yeah, 40 years.
No trial.
That's just a gross miscarriage of justice. So, of course, we have our issues. But
there's Susan Bogle as well.
Susan Bogle in Augustown.
Kind of murky.
Yeah. But we have systems in place that are there to check and to investigate these things. And I mean, it's not perfect. And quite frankly, maybe it will never be perfect, but at least we can account for systems in place that can regulate you know, in a sense. Maybe justice, many people feel like you can buy justice in Jamaica, which should not be the case. That speaks to racism's cousin, as Nara said, which is classism. So, you know, like, we have our issues, but I feel like Jamaican artists, credit to them, they do lend their voices and their platforms to that through their art, music, you know. Again, I remember a couple artists have protests, visual, like some sort of collective unifying coming together to say, yo, like, crime or this is a bad thing. So I just found it weird that people were really going at Spice.
And the thing is, even with the protests here locally, the protests that they had at the embassy, I see people that under the comments that say, yo, we not keep the same energy, we not talk up for the things them want go on out here. They were, and they stated it clearly in the video I saw.
They make sure put it on the placard them to like
that too, and them sit at the front of the video. Say, yo, not only are we protesting the injustices that we see happening overseas, but we also protest the injustices that are happening here with Susan Bogle, Jordan Ferran.
I remember somebody said Maria Dean. Remember that was an issue?
Yes, that as well.
Yeah.
There's several cases out here still need justice, and they protested about it. And I have to praise them, because at least them take the time out for go out there with them placard in a black, in a the sun. This sun, a summertime basically, you know, started. This sun not ramp
and
up
them
there.
Announce it too, because them put it out to the public, so others could
join.
So
Uno could have joined if Uno were so pressed about these issues. Uno could have joined. You see me? someone don't just do the bare minimum, just put up a black square and feel like gonna do something. What they just put up a black square for Instagram.
We did that.
And we did, yes. I'm just saying, but we never criticize nobody.
No.
I say, but
I vote. I very
someone
much
even
believe.
vote.
I very much
but
believe
someone
in that.
who put up on a black square and feel like gonna do something. And I bet say someone that put up on a black square was in some of these comments and say, oh, no, do this out there. Shut up, someone, man. Shut up. You don't chat too much, man.
Oh
shout out the artists them when me see the protest to me see like Naomi Cowan, Tesslated, of course, Kabaka, Bounty Killer, of course. People out there that are criticizing, I don't get it, because the difference between us and them are just the slave ship and where they go. The slave ship, our slave ship carry yes, sir.
Pretty much.
For them carry them this, sir.
Yeah.
Then someone that slave ship they go a little further.
A little further. You know what I mean?
You think Christopher Columbus there hell? I think he's at hell.
So random.
He must be there. He must there hell.
So random.
Suppose
More than
he
like
was
that.
forgiven.
Perhaps maybe making peace with God.
Before?
Yeah, with white Jesus.
Oh, cause Black Jesus said no.
Yeah.
But
Like Black Heaven probably real nice, you know.
This is probably another day, like a different
Yeah.
conversation, because I always question it, like, if you're forgiven, then you're worthy of going to heaven.
Yeah, but you see, when you
Who
watch
are gonna
Touched
go
by
end
an
if everybody
Angel,
get forgiven?
if you watch Touched by an Angel, like people up on them deathbed, you know, and like God, like the angel is like, oh, it's fine, but them did really horrible. I'm like, how that?
Yeah, Scatterburl is watching this and clenching his fist.
Religious hard talk.
Hear the boat touch by
But maybe-
angel. Which
but-
angel am I gonna make touch me?
But maybe I have like, you know, Black Heaven, White Heaven. So he's in like Black Hell. Christopher Columbus is in Black Hell. White Heaven.
You've taken this conversation so left.
Just go to the part.
Well, yeah, R.I.P. George Floyd, Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor,
Ahmaud Arbery.
Susan Bogle, Mario
Bogle.
Dean, Noel Chambers, and a list of people.
Justice.
I just hope that-
Jody and Farron. Was that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. I hope that justice. It seemed like the prime minister addressed those cases. Within the last
Susan
week.
and Noel.
And Noel, yes.
Mhm.
I could make sure that we're keeping them accountable and that when them say them are gonna do things, that them actually do it. Let's make sure say we keep abreast
Mhm.
of what go on. You see me? Because as I say, enough things are going out there that needs to be addressed. And
Right.
I agree, say the energy that's shown overseas should be shown here. But don't criticize the people, they must say. What
Yeah.
clearly these are things that touch them
Mhm.
and they're playing their part to speak out against it, and then they say blah 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 blah. Someone just chat too much. Shut up. Actually do something.
Yeah.
Make sure say una play for part.